This episode of Android Authority is brought to you by lynda.com. Try lynda.com free for 7 days by visiting lynda.com/android. You ask, we answer. Hey, it's Joshua Vergara from Android Authority. What's going on, everybody? And this is Android Authority Q&A for July 24, 2013. Alright, our first question comes from Audiology, who asks, Hi Kris, which phone released in 2013 has the best battery life? Well, I could tell you about the phones that have already been released, but since Motorola had its big Droid event just yesterday, I can give you a much better answer than those, because the Droid MAXX is the answer for this question. With a 3500 mAh battery packed in, it should last longer than even a number of tablets. If you remember the Razr MAXX from at least a year ago, the Droid MAXX continues that very tradition. Ricardo asks, do you think the Sony Honami could be the best phone released this year? Yes, the mysterious Honami phone does continue to get teased, but we don't have that much concrete information about it. Now, Sony did make a big splash with the Xperia Z Ultra, with specs inside of that behemoth body that give even some of today's top phones a real run for their money. If the Honami phone, or the i1, is a smaller, more accessible, let's say maybe a 5-inch screen device with those same killer specs, we could have an amazing smartphone on our hands. It's no secret that I love me some Xperia phones, but with all of the new great releases starting to surface like the Moto X and the LG G2, it's really up to you, man. I will tell you this though, I do think that the Honami phone will definitely sit among the best. Our next question comes from Randall Williams, who asks, when the Moto X and LG G2 hit the market, which company will carry those phones? Well, when it comes to the Moto X, we can look to Motorola's Droid naming convention. Since droids are typically on Verizon and the X is not named as one, we can pretty safely expect it to be on GSM carriers. Not to mention the leaks that we've seen do use an AT&T branded phone. AT&T does have a knack for getting the high-end devices. When it comes to the LG G2, the next flagship by LG should be getting the same treatment that was given to the Optimus G. Again, AT&T will likely get it, but T-Mobile could gain some steam and receive their own version. The Optimus G did make it over to Sprint though, so perhaps the same will go for a G2 variant. Francisco Roca gives us our next question, starting with, Hello Kris. I'm a 16-year-old teenager and I am a huge tech fan. Since I can't afford the best phones on the market, what mid-range device do you recommend? Well, Francisco, without knowing where you're hailing from, I will have to use US carriers as a measuring stick. All of these phones do come in at $100 or less on contracts. AT&T has probably the biggest selection, and off of it, I would actually recommend you get one of last year's flagships. They may not be cutting edge, but not only do you thus have choices, you will also still get a great performing smartphone. Choices here include the LG Optimus G and the Samsung Galaxy S3. T-Mobile actually just got the Xperia Z at a great price of $99 for a pretty top-tier device, but there is also the awesome Nexus 4 available at no upfront cost. Verizon's main mid-range offering is the Droid Razr M. And of course, if you're looking for an unlocked phone, the best bang for buck, hands down, has got to be the Google Nexus 4. User Adam Hall recently got a Galaxy S4 and wants to know about proper battery maintenance and if charging 2 or more times a day is okay. His question is it bad on the battery or the phone to charge it that often? Now see, this is a really great question because for the most part, Li-ion batteries are supposed to be set it and forget it, but it could help to know a little bit more information about your smartphone's battery in order to make it last longer. It comes down to charging with or without any power still in the unit. The basic answer is, charge it whenever you need. Having some power in the battery is actually good for it because totally draining it all the time isn't. If you drain the battery completely maybe once every 30 cycles, it can reset the battery level monitor, giving you a better readout of your power level. Just don't get into the habit of using your phone until it's completely dead and then charge it when you need. Also, you have a Galaxy S4, so having a spare battery on hand is probably going to turn out very handy for you. Alright, that'll about do it for this edition of Android Authority Q&A, but I don't really do this show very often and I don't know when I will again, so I wanted to give you guys one bonus. This is an answer to a question that I've been getting on a lot of my videos, and that question simply is, are you Filipino? Well, the answer is yes. I'm a proud Filipino American, so I hope that settles it for all of my kababayan out there, and thank you guys very much for watching and for tuning in. And if you haven't noticed already, I am rocking one of our new Android Authority t-shirts. This shirt and a ton of other apparel and accessories are available at our newly opened Android Authority store, which can be found at androidauthority.spreadshirt.com. There's a ton of merchandise that you can look through there. You can get everything in a bunch of different colors, and you can even get the logo printed on it in one of 4 different ways. So you've got nothing but choice there. So once you head on over, again, it's androidauthority.spreadshirt.com so you can start repping some Android Authority swag. As always, a written companion for this video can be found in the description below, right alongside a way for you to turn in your own questions and possibly get them answered on the show. Don't forget about our other weekly features, Android Authority Weekly, hosted by me, and the Sunday Giveaway, hosted by Chris. We always have a lot of great stuff and coverage for you on the Android Authority channel, so don't forget to stay tuned because we are your source for all things Android.